Hi guys, I'm here to continue my tutorial on how to do PaintPot for App Inventor for our coding class. I got cut off at the end of part 1, sorry about that, so I just want to go ahead and make sure we're all on the same page and you guys are with me as far as what we're up to right now. So far what we've done is we've created red, blue, and green buttons. We've put them into a very nice looking horizontal alignment. We've chosen a drawing canvas with a picture that we'd like to draw all over. And we've created a white button so that we can clear away our drawings when we're done and start fresh. Okay, so you guys should all have something that looks like this, although your picture will be different. Okay, and since we have these lovely pictures and these lovely buttons ready to go, what we need to do now is assign actions for the buttons. What happens right now, if you click on them, is nothing. We haven't told the buttons to actually perform any actions. So we need to move from our designer screen to blocks on the far right hand side. Click on that and you'll get to see this. And once again, as I like to call it, this is the guts of our program. Nobody gets to see this but you, and this is your world. You get to create things here and make things happen. So let's get started, huh? First thing we'd like to see happen is for something to happen when you click on each one of the buttons, red, blue, and green. And what we want to happen is when you click on the red button, the cursor, the paintbrush, whatever you'd like to call it, will turn red. When you click on the blue button, it will turn blue. And so on. Either way, it'll allow you to paint in the color that you choose. So, we're going to click on button red. You have lots of options here in the blocks menu, but we want to have something happen when button red is clicked. So we're going to drag that one out. And what we want to happen, if we think about it, we want the cursor or the paint color to change on the drawing canvas. So we click on drawing canvas and we're going to scroll down until we find something that corresponds to that action. We're going to do something with paint color on the drawing canvas. We're going to set it to a certain color. Okay, and you can see there's an empty spot here at the end where we have to still assign a value. If you go over here to blocks, there's an option called colors next to a gray box. Click on that and you can see there's red right there. Okay, so we've got our red button working. Every time we click on it, the paint color for the drawing canvas is going to change to red. We need to make sure the same thing is going to happen when we click on blue. So go ahead and drag those blocks out. Don't get confused. There's lots of options here. Make sure you're choosing the right one. Whoops, that's not the right one. It's supposed to say set drawing canvas paint color. Okay, if you make a mistake like I just did, just drag it to the trash can and say goodbye. One more time, click on drawing canvas. We're going to say set drawing canvas paint color to, and of course we want to go back to colors and choose blue. Alrighty, last one, let's see if we can do it super fast. When the button is clicked, the drawing canvas will set drawing canvas paint color to purple. No, that's not right. It's a green button, so it needs to change it to green. Alrighty, so we've got 3 buttons going. Looks great so far. The last button we need to think about is button wipe. When button wipe is clicked, we want something to happen to the drawing canvas again. So we want to make sure that the drawing canvas will clear when we click that button. Okay, so we've got 4 buttons out of 4 working on our app, which is great. Alrighty. This is the really simple part of programming because buttons are actually one of the easiest things going. It's a very simple action. It only takes a second. You click a button, something happens, and it's over. But we also need to think about longer actions or things that keep going without actually being told. And those are a little bit trickier to set up. Let me show you what we're doing in Paint. What we're actually talking about now is not a button, but an action that we'd like to continue. when you click and you drag, either with the mouse pointer or with your finger, this is actually a much longer action and more complex than a simple button click. And these are the commands that we're going to set up now, so that when you drag your finger or the mouse across the screen of your app, something will happen as well. Okay, I know you guys aren't going to want to hear this, but for this, we need to think about math a little bit. Ooh, bet you didn't think that was going to happen in coding class. Alrighty, I can't remember which one it is right now, so let me take a look at my handy dandy directions. Alrighty, we're going to stay in the blocks menu. It says we're going to click on drawing canvas, and we're going to set up what happens when the drawing canvas is touched. So you can see that command right here. When the drawing canvas is touched, something is going to happen on the drawing canvas. So we're going to click drawing canvas again. We're going to see an option that says call drawing canvas draw circle. Okay, and it's got these funny options for X, Y, and R. Okay, first thing I want to explain to you guys is that when it says draw circle, it's not exactly meaning that you're going to draw a circle on the screen. If you think about it, every dot that you see on a screen, every point, is also a circle. It's just a very small one, so we don't think of it that way. So when it says draw circle, it's actually going to draw a point on the screen. But how does the program know where you want the point to be drawn? This is where the math is, guys. We're going to think of our screen right here. Isn't it so pretty? We're going to think of it like an XY coordinate axis. You guys remember axes, don't you? Okay, when you want to talk about a certain point, a very specific point on the screen, you need an XY coordinate to show which one you're talking about. Okay, so we're going to go to blocks. We're going to take a look again. This is where there's an X and a Y here. What we want to have happen is that when we click a certain point on the screen, a dot will appear in the same point. So if we want something to appear when we click on X, we're going to say in this, whoops, there we go. What we're going to do is hover over X and choose the option Get X. What this means is when we move our pointer over to spot X, we're going to have something appear in the same spot X. Okay, we're going to hover over Y and see the options appear there. We're going to say Get Y, click it into place. So now we have it set up so that when spot X is clicked, something will appear in the same spot X. When Y is clicked, something will appear in the same spot Y. And this R is down here. It's something a little silly and strange. R is here because it means radius. You guys remember what radius is, don't you? It's half the diameter of a circle. Okay, so what that's telling you, what that's referring to, is size. How big do you want your dot to be? Well, we have to set a value for R, a number, so that the program knows how big to make our dots. Okay, so click on the white part of the blocks builder, any point that you like. We're going to make our radius 5, so you can hit the number key 5 on your keyboard. 5 appears, press the enter button, and it'll go ahead and make a button for you. We're going to click it into place, and there you go. So now we've got everything set up so that not only when the buttons are touched, something will happen, but when we touch the drawing canvas with our finger and drag it across a certain area, things will happen there as well. Okay? So, if you take excuse me, if you take a look at the designer, you can see that none of the stuff that we've been doing shows up here. It's all for us. It's all secret coding stuff. Nobody else is allowed to see that. Alrighty, I think that we're actually finished. Let me check the directions. There's what it's meant to look like, and it does. Oh, but there's more. Okay, there is... Oh, nope, we did that one. Did I do it twice? That's really silly. Oh, you know what? I messed up my directions. Fantastic. I have to fix that for you guys. There is actually one more step in the blocks menu. You want to click the drawing canvas. And we're going to set what happens when you drag, when you click and drag. Okay. So, drawing canvas. We're not talking about touching this time. We're talking about dragging. So when drawing canvas is dragged. Okay. Click on drawing canvas again. When the drawing canvas is dragged, a line will appear along the area that was dragged. So click again. We're going to say draw a line this time. And again, X and Y are all referring to coordinates on your drawing canvas. The reason there's two is because there is an ending point and a starting point. And the program is telling itself, or we are telling the program, that we want a line to appear starting at the starting point, XY value, going all the way in between and ending when we tell it to end at a certain XY coordinate. Okay, so it's X1. Let me check my directions because I'm a little bit forgetful. X1, previous X, okay. Previous X is where you go. You say get previous X. And Y is to Y, get previous Y. Current X. And current Y. And if I'm not mistaken, that's what it's supposed to look like. Fantastic. It's all snapped together, and these are actually all the commands that our app needs to work. We've got 3 different colors, and those buttons work. We've got a white button that clears everything when we're finished. We've got a drawing canvas that will respond when we touch it with a simple click, a single dot, or a circle. And we've got a drawing canvas that will respond if we want to drag our finger across and make a line. Okay, we need all of these things to be properly set up in order for the app to work. Hopefully we've done that. Like I said, it looks pretty good, but if anything is going crazy over here or isn't set up correctly, it's not gonna work. So, when you guys have finished the directions and you're all done with an app and you want to test it out with me, what you need to do is go up to Build and go ahead and say App, Save APK to my computer. And what the program will do is prepare the app, package it, build it correctly so that it will work like the app is meant to. Sometimes this takes a while. You guys might remember Hello Purr built in about 10 seconds last week, but you can see this one is actually quite complex. It takes a little bit longer to build. So congratulations, guys. This one was definitely something different for you and definitely something to be proud of. Okay, hopefully it should be appearing soon. Haha, PaintPot 2. There we go. Okay. I'm going to click on this tab and I'm going to say show in folder. This is what it looks like in Google Chrome. What I want you guys to do when we do this in class is email it to me, so I'm going to show you how to do that. It's in the downloads folder and it's called PaintPot 2. So now that that file is finished doing what it needs to do, I'm going to go to my Gmail, just like you guys have, and I'm going to email it to Beth. Okay? My app, I'm going to call this email. Anytime you want to attach something to an email or send something to me, click on the paperclip. I'm going to go to my downloads folder and I'm going to find PaintPot again. And this one was called PaintPot 2. Okay, so you wait here on this bar for it to load. And then you click send and we can see if it works. That is fantastic. Okay. I'm going to show you guys so you can see if it's working. This is the emulator I was talking about earlier. It's not a real Android phone, but it knows how to act like one. And I have this on my computer. And every time you guys send me an app, I'll test it for you. I'll load it into the emulator and we can see if it works. Alrighty. It's pretending to be an Android phone, so we unlock it just like it was real. What we need to do is we need to go find that PaintPot 2 file.